People always want to know what I'm thinking. In the courtroom, they watch my face for tells. Opposing counsel, judges, juries, they're looking for something that will help them understand me, something that will make me make sense. They never find it. But here, in the dark, behind a kit that's older than half the people in this room, I'm not thinking about anything at all. That's the point. 44 years of a mind that never stops, never quiets, never gives me a moment I didn't plan. And then I sit down behind these drums, and for the length of a set, nothing. Seattle understands silence. It's a city that knows how to keep things to itself. Rain helps with that, washes things clean, or at least it makes them look that way. I came here 20 years ago with nothing I wanted to keep. Left the Bronx in the rear view and didn't look back once. Some people run from something. I prefer to think I was moving toward something. I just didn't know what yet. My name is Dorian Voss. That's what my bar card says. That's what the placard on my office door says. That's what opposing counsel says when they're trying very hard not to sound afraid. I'm a criminal defense attorney, have been for 11 years. Before that, I was nobody worth knowing, at least nobody worth knowing in the way that matters here. Before the law, there was the road. Before the road, there was the Bronx. And before the Bronx, there was a version of me I don't visit anymore. The law suits me. People find that surprising when they see me walk into a courtroom. The tattoos, the way I carry myself. I've had judges look at me like I walked into the wrong building. I let them think whatever they need to think. It doesn't change the outcome. I've never lost a case I actually wanted to win. That's not arrogance. That's just accounting. I understand how people work, what they're afraid of, what they want, what they'll believe if you give them just enough of the right story. Most attorneys argue law. I argue psychology. There's a difference. Law changes. People don't. My therapist, former therapist, told me once that I score in the 99th percentile for certain psychological traits that most people find alarming. She said it like it was a problem to be solved. I told her I considered it a professional advantage. She didn't laugh. She wasn't wrong, though. The band has been together 10 years. 5 of us. None of us are trying to be anything anymore. That part came and went a long time ago for all of us. We play because it's the only thing any of us know how to do with the parts of ourselves we can't take anywhere else. I traveled the world with music once. Stages I can't fully remember. Cities that blur together. Women who were there and then weren't. I was good at that life. Good at moving through it without leaving marks. Something happened that made me stop. I'm not going to tell you what it was, not yet. What I will tell you is that when I came back, when I decided to come back, I came back different, quieter, more deliberate. I understood something about myself that I hadn't been willing to look at before. I understood what I was. And instead of running from it, I built a life around it. A careful life. A life that makes sense if you don't look too closely. Most people don't look too closely. I walk home most nights, 3 miles from wherever I end up to the apartment I've had for 12 years. Same route mostly. Past the courthouse, past the water, through neighborhoods that look different at 2 a.m. than they do at noon. I like cities at night. The version of a place that only exists when most people are asleep. Seattle at night is honest in a way it isn't during the day. The rain doesn't stop for anyone. The darkness doesn't make exceptions. I fit here. I always have. 20 years and I've never once considered leaving. The Bronx was where I was made. Seattle is where I decided who to be. There's a difference. I have a code. I know that sounds like something a person says to make themselves themselves feel better about the things they do. But it's not that. It's just, I have a set of principles I operate by. Things I will and won't do. Lines I've drawn for myself. Not because someone told me to, because I chose to. I choose everything deliberately. That's important to understand about me. My name is Dorian Voss. I'm a criminal defense attorney, a drummer, a man who has lived in this city for 20 years without anyone knowing the first true thing about me. Seattle has a way of keeping secrets. So do I. But I'm going to tell you mine.